Hello, Chickchang back with another summary, part 2 of the Halo 2 game. But this time we will see it from the human point of view up until the Master Chief meets Arbiter along with the Gravemind. Also, just for anyone that is confused on where the rest of the Spartans might be, I'll tell you. Kelly's on Onyx with Dr. Halsey. Will, Fred, and Linda do fight for a while on Earth before heading to Onyx, but were split from John after getting back to Earth. And then there's Grey Team, which is way out in Covenant space. And then, obviously, Red Team from Halo Wars is still in action as well. So, without further delay, let's begin. Opening scene is in orbit around Earth, on an Earth defense platform Cairo, October 20th, 2552, which is almost exactly a month after the start of the first Halo game, where we find John getting a lecture on how poorly his gear has been maintained. Not really his fault, but it goes to show how close the armor came to failing.
The plating was about to fail. There's viscosity throughout the gel layer. Optics, totally fried. And let's not even talk about the power supply. You know how expensive this gear is, son?
Tell that to the Covenant. You told me there wouldn't be any cameras.
And you told me you were gonna wear something nice. Folks need heroes, Chief, to give them hope. So smile, would ya? Well, we still got something to smile about.
Gentlemen, we're lucky to have you back. Go ahead, Cortana.
Another whisper, sir, near Io. We have probes en route.
I apologize, but we're going to have to make this quick.
You look nice.
Thank you.
Sergeant Major, the Colonial Cross is awarded for acts of singular daring and devotion. For a soldier of the United Earth Space Corps, Commander Miranda Keyes, your father's actions were in keeping with the highest traditions of military service. His bravery in the face of impossible odds reflects great credit upon himself and the UNSC. The Navy has lost one of its best.
Slip space ruptures directly off our battle cluster.
Show me.
15 Covenant capital ships holding position just outside the kill zone.
This is Fleet Admiral Harper. We are engaging the enemy.
Negative, Admiral. Form a defensive perimeter around the cluster. Commander, get to your ship. Link up with the fleet.
Yes, sir.
You have the mech gun, Cortana. As soon as they come in range, open up.
Gladly.
Something's not right. The fleet that destroyed Reach was 50 times this size.
Sir, additional contacts. Boarding craft and lots of them.
They're going to try to take our mech guns offline. Give their capital ships a straight shot at Earth. Master Chief, defend this station.
Yes, sir. I need a weapon.
Right this way.
After the award ceremony that was so rudely interrupted by the Covenant attack, John starts to make his way through the station, killing any Covenant trying to take over. This Covenant attack is also led by the Prophet of Regret, hologram from Part 1.
Fire team, quarter second through.
Other defense platforms begin to fall, allowing the Covenant to push through and land forces on the ground. So John makes his way further across the station until he finds elites guarding a bomb. After killing all the guards, this happens.
Me, inside your head, now.
How much time was left?
You don't want to know.
Cairo, this is an Emberclad. The carrier shield is down. I'm in position and ready for immediate assault.
Negative, Commander. Not against a ship that size. Not on your own.
Sir, permission to leave the station.
For what purpose, Master Chief?
To give the Covenant back their bomb.
Permission granted.
know what you're thinking, and it's crazy.
So, stay here.
Unfortunately for us both, I like crazy. Just one question. What if you miss?
I won't.
Pretty good.
Chief, get inside. Gear up. We're taking this fight to the surface.
The message just repeats. Regret. Regret. Regret.
Catchy. Any idea what it means?
Dear humanity, we regret being alien bastards. We regret coming to Earth. And we most definitely regret the Corps just blew up our raggedy-ass fleet. Hoorah!
Regret is a name, Sergeant. The name of one of the Covenant's religious leaders, a prophet. He's on that carrier, and he's calling for help.
Immediate. Grid Kilo 2-3 is hot. Recommend mission abort.
Roger, Recon. It's your call, Sarge.
We're going in. Get tactical, Marines!
Master Chief, get aboard that carrier. Secure the Prophet of Regret. This is the only place on Earth the Covenant decided to land. That Prophet is going to tell us why.
Whoa.
Wake up.
Shake it off, Marines!
After crash landing from being hit by the Covenant Scarab, John, Avery, and surviving Marines get up and start making their way across the city in an attempt to repel the invasion, occasionally holding out positions until softening up the enemies enough in order to push further.
Sergeant, I need you on that bird.
Ma'am?
My Pelicans are going to start airlifting armor and...
Once to the other side of the hotel, after killing the elites and Grunstrahd by the Phantom, the Master Chief mounts a Warthog with a couple other Marines and heads to the tunnels in order to reach the bridge that will take them into the city. When going through the tunnels, there's something to know, that while not talked really at all about in the game, there's an interesting story called Palace Hotel that goes more in depth about what happened from meeting the Marines in the tunnel until reaching Palace Hotel, where he makes plans with someone he used to know.
All of us. Humanity on Earth. Odd, I know, but it...
Permission to speak! Sir, you suck! Sir, we have to develop what we call...
It blew right through us. 50 cal rockets didn't do a thing.
your platoon.
Wasted, Sarge.
And we will be too, sir, if we don't get the hell out of here.
You hit Marine?
No, sir.
Then listen up. The chief is gonna jump in this tank, roll across the bridge, and blow up any inhuman son of a bitch dumb enough to get between him and the Prophet of Regret. Pull yourself together, because you're going with him.
What about that scarab?
We've all run the simulations. They're tough, but they ain't invincible. Stay with the Master Chief. He'll know what to do.
Yes, sir, Sergeant.
Thanks for the tank. He never gets me anything.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
Once to the other side of the tunnel, he is given a tank and starts making his way across the bridge, destroying ghost after ghost after ghost, and anything else that's a threat. But anyways, back to the hotel. After climbing up to the top, the Scarab is walking around underneath a walkway, which Marines had actually led the Scarab to. The Master Chief jumps down in order to fight the enemies on board. After killing all the elites, grunts, and jackals with relative ease, he's able to put down the Scarab for good. Sergeant Johnson shows up in a Pelican to pick him up just in time.
That's right, you mothers! Run!
Not if we can help it, Sergeant.
Extract the chief and return to an amberclad.
Roger that. Status.
Sir, the Prophet is bugging out. Request permission to engage.
Negative, Commander. All Vector 2 heavies for star side intercept.
Bam! Slip space rupture off the target's bow. It's going to jump inside the city.
There's no time, sir.
Green light. Green light to engage.
Punch it. Get us close.
Ma'am, without a destination solution.
We are not losing that ship.
The explosion is because of the jump being made within the atmosphere, which is a result of the Covenant AI telling the Covenant of Cortana's jump she made, leaving the location of the destroyed ring from Halo 1 or Halo Flood, which was during First Strike.
Report!
Both engine cores have spun to zero. We're drifting. Archer pods are cold. I'll need to rekey the system.
Do it and find out where we are.
Sorry for the quick jump, Sergeant. You in one piece?
I'm good. Chief?
We're fine.
Ma'am, there's an object coming into view now.
Cortana, what exactly am I looking at?
That is another Halo.
Say what?
So this is what my father found. I thought Halo was some sort of super weapon.
It is. If activated, this ring will cause destruction on a galactic scale.
I want all the information you've got on the first Halo. Schematic, topography, whatever. I don't care if I have the clearance or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Where's our target?
The enemy ship is stopped above the ring, ma'am. We're going to pass right over it.
Perfect. Given what we know about this ring, it's even more important that we capture the Prophet of Regret. Find out why he came to Earth, why he came here.
Chief, take first platoon. Hard drop. Secure a landing zone. Sergeant, load up 2 flights of Pelicans and follow them in.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
Until I can move and fight, I'm going to keep a low profile. Once you leave the ship, you're on your own.
Understood.
Over the target in 5.
Hang on to your helmet. Mind the bump. any more noise? I guess so.
After landing and moving through, killing Covenant on the way, he comes across a gap that needs a bridge to be activated. Once activated and a Wraith is destroyed, he continues his rampage on even more enemies, destroying once again ghost after ghost, until meeting up with more Marines. Eventually, Chief makes it to a sanctum of sorts where a hologram of Regret is giving a speech.
Wait, go back. That's what I thought he said. The Prophet of Regret is planning to activate Halo.
Are you sure?
I shall light this holy ring, release its cleansing flame, and burn a path into the divine beyond.
Pretty much.
Commander, we've got a problem.
So I hear. But from what I understand, the Prophet will need an object, the Index, to activate the ring. I've located a library similar to the one you found on the first Halo. If the rings work the same way, the Index should be inside.
I'll bet the Covenant are thinking the exact same thing.
Then we better beat them to it, Sergeant. Extract your men and meet me at the library.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll secure the Index, Chief. You take out the Prophet. He's given us all the intel we need.
Now that they know Regret is going to be the one to activate the Halo ring, John is told to kill, not capture the Prophet. So after killing more Covenant soldiers that try to impede his progress, he comes across a couple of hunters. Once they're dispatched, he and the other Marines come across gondolas that will carry them across a giant lake to a Forerunner building. From the building, they take underwater elevators and other gondolas and such until they get to the actual building that Regret is at.
I've intercepted a secure transmission from Regret. Carrier just received a response from High Charity. A very well encrypted message from the Prophet of Truth. Listen to this. Your haste has jeopardized the fulfillment of our covenant, threatened our grand design. That you shall be spared a public display of our contempt is thanks only to Mercy and his wise counsel. Truth, Mercy, Regret. 3 Prophet hierarchs. Killing Regret should shake up the Covenant leadership. But frankly, it sounds like you might be doing Truth a favor.
That's the largest Covenant fleet I've ever seen. The largest anyone's ever seen. Get inside the temple and kill Regret before it can stop us.
After interrupting Regret's speech and a short battle ensues, John is able to kill Regret and leave. He survives after jumping into the lake, but is incapacitated by the attack. The Gravemind drags him deeper into the lake with his tentacles away from the danger above.
This is not your grave, but you are welcome in it.
And with that, we will leave off with Part 2 of Halo 2 summary. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. Part 3 will be next, and we'll finish the summary of Halo 2. Thanks for watching. Chickchang out.